back on. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about marketing because, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this, and a lot of times I'm talking about whatever, but I'm going to start making Wednesday nights all about marketing. Who doesn't love marketing? I love marketing. That's what grows our business. And so I was talking to a good friend tonight, Mr. Al, and I'm sure he'll be on here later on. And he was talking about how he is helping a person and they want to buy all the equipment, but it's not about the equipment, guys. It's really not. It's about marketing. And so I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start making Wednesday night marketing because marketing is what actually grows your business. I know a lot of people want to start and grow their pressure washing business, and I want you to start and grow your pressure washing business, but it really is about marketing. Marketing, marketing, marketing. If you're not marketing, you're losing money. And so this is something I want to hit on, and I got several things I want to hit on, and so that's where we're going to be at tonight. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the book of the week. I've been listening to this book. It's a little bit older. It's not too old, but it's a great book. And I would highly, highly recommend this book for you to read this book. And it's called The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. And this is a great book. I would highly recommend you to read it. It has been like opening my mind up to several things. And I've been thinking on different things about this book and how I can implement them. And so what I'm going to be talking about tonight kind of goes in with this book right here. This book and another book that I always recommend kind of go hand to hand. They were talking about, and I'm not even going to give it away yet because it is a great book. And so I would highly recommend you read this book. It is a great book. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is I always give you a tool, and this is the tool. Yard signs, and I'm going to show you why to use yard signs here shortly. I'm going to steal something from Monday Night Marketing, just a clip, so you can hear what happens on Monday Night Marketing. And guess who will be, you will hear Mr. Tristan's voice in it. He asked a question, and Mr. Chris gave him a very good answer. And so this is what happens when you do Monday Night Marketing. And also with Chris, you will, if you come to our Myrtle Beach training, you'll learn way more about it. And so with yard signs, moneybushes.com, big pressure wash, big phone number, right? That is what is key in getting our business. This is not key in our business. You cannot read that at the stop sign when you're there because it is so small and nobody cares about any of those words on there other than the house washing and the little here. So make sure you're doing this. Now, I'm going to make you wait for what I was talking about because, you know, that's how I am. And so if you want to know when I go live, you can text the number King, text King, K-I-N-G, and you can text it to 859-696-1101, and it will put you on the list and let you know when I go live. So let's get talking a little bit to see who all we got in the room. We got Mr. Big Rob from New Jersey or up north that way. We got Chat GPT with Nathan Brinker. We love Chat GPT. We got Pink Robin down in Florida. We got Billy Forbes. What's up? We got Tristan. Yes, sir. Big Rob, there you are. So let's talk a little bit about Paul Gardner's signs are the best. Yes, they are. Signs, signs, signs. Let's smash that like button. Is 20 going to be a good year? Yes, it is going to be a good year. Hey, Jason, thanks for the text. I'm in the house, Mr. Dolomite. So let's get started here and talk a little bit about I want to talk a little bit about what is search engine optimization. What is that, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about this before we get too far down this rabbit trail. But what is SEO? What is the difference between SEO and local search? Right? what does one versus the other? Which one is better for a pressure washing service business? I don't even care if you're a pressure washing business, but which one is better for a service business in the end? And so we are going to talk on this here, and I'm going to go into quite a bit of, I'm not going to go real deep into detail, but I'm going to start hitting on some stuff of what is it and how can we start to rank in our area. And so when we do SEO, it's called search engine optimization. And what brought this on is I had somebody that's in my membership. He called me, asked me if it was a good deal, and I started asking questions because that's what I do. And the person that he was going to be buying his SEO from was like, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. And I'm like, well, how do you do it then? You just got some magic fairy dust? I literally just came from a conference this past week that, yes, I still go to trainings and I still pay for trainings. Imagine that, because the best thing you can invest in is you, right? There is nothing better than you can invest in than you. And so this is moneybushes.com. Didn't you see where I put that? Moneybushes.com is the best place to get yard signs. Moneybushes.com. Real easy. I make it simple. So he calls me and he's messaging me and he's asking me these questions and I'm asking him, and we're playing the relay game. And so this got me thinking, well, if he don't know what SEO is and he's been in the marketing membership for a while, that I've been hitting on a whole lot of stuff that we do to make our marketing or for our SEO the last couple months, then a lot of other people probably don't know what SEO is either. And so what does some things happen? So SEO and local search sometimes can be a little bit, they can be together, but really they're separate. And so local search, which is when you type in pressure washing near me, when we type in things like that, these are some things that you will find out that you will do. So local search is in your maps, right? When you open up the thing and you type in pressure washing, you come into maps. And so really, I believe that is where you really want to be at. If you're not in the maps, you need to be in AdWords because it's hard to get in SEO down at the bottom. And so these are some things that we need to look at when we're dealing with this here. So with that said, these are some things that we can do. So some questions that we can ask people, and I will give you some questions later. Another thing is we need to develop content marketing strategies that focus on educating the customers. So the book that I just put up there, he talks about this a whole lot. He talks about how we should be educating our customers, whether we're doing it on social media, whether we are doing it in our blog, whatever we're doing. And so a lot of times what I see people do on their website and they do it on their social media is, look, I am King Dingaling and I am the best. And that's the worst thing you can do. The 5 greatest things about my company. That's the worst thing you can do, right? We need to educate our customer so that they want to come and buy from us. We want to show them how we can help them ease their problem, right? They have a problem. They have a pain point, and you're there to ease your problem. You're not there to sell them that how great you are. You know, you let your Google reviews go do that, right? Let other people tell you how great you are, but you don't go out there and say, I'm the best. You need to buy from me because the 5 greatest things about blah blah pressure washing is we have an 8-gallon a minute, and we do soft washing, and we do blah 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 blah. We don't use pressure, right? It's me. Or how about what can happen to you? What happens to your house if you don't get your house cleaned, right? Now we're making it about the customer. We want to show, if we're writing copy, it doesn't need to say me. It needs to say you, right? It needs to say customer. We got to get out of this mindset of about me, because if we have this mindset of about me, we're not going to sell anything. And so this is why it is important that it's about you marketing, and that we have educating marketing stuff, whether it's in our social media, it's in our blogs, it's on our front page, and it's all about customer service, right? It's all about the customer. So, and then the number 3 thing is we need to leverage social media marketing such as Facebook, Instagram, Google My Business, right? Google My Business is another thing. And again, it's about increased brand awareness. It's about how we can help them, give them information that will help them out. That is the goal. It is not about me, 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 me. Look, even this right here, pressure washing. And a lot of times I don't even tell you put the name on it. We're solving a problem just with 1-2 words right here, that they know that we can solve their problem just by this sign, right? And so this is why it is important that we do this stuff, so that way we can get more customers and we can do this. And then another thing that obviously we're talking about SEO and local. So let's talk a little bit about local versus SEO. So SEO is more into doing blogs, doing content marketing, all of these things, backlinks, all of these things can help our website and help it grow. Now, it doesn't mean that this is how you do it, right? It doesn't mean that this is the only way you're going to grow. And so these are some things that we have to remember of. I see so many people want to buy a website and they want to do they want to pay for SEO, and they want to spend all this money on this stuff here. And I can show you businesses that have gotten to $500,000 to $750,000 to $1 million that never had even a website. Right? Because it's not about that. This is a long play, right? This isn't, this is going to just blow my phone up. Now, these SEO marketers, they're going to act like it's going to blow your phone up. I promise you, they will act like they will blow your phone up. They're going to just blow it up. You pay them $500,000, $800,000 a month, and your phone is going to blow up, right? Blow up. I mean, it's just like you won't even be able to keep it from not ringing because it's going to ring so much. But it's so far from the truth. So this is something that you have to think about when we're dealing with this stuff, and how we can keep our business growing and keep us doing what we need to do. And so this is important of what we need to do. And so another thing is one way, not the only way, one way is we can do pay per click, right? That can start driving traffic to our website. And so it supposedly doesn't help your website, even if you pay traffic to it, but it can help. And then here's one, think outside of the box. Think of an influencer in your area that you could work with and start trading services or doing different things. Maybe there's a plumber that's really good on TikTok or really good on something, and he has a huge local crowd. Be like, hey, dude, how can I hook up with you, right? So that way you can start working those things. You can start getting links to your channel. We can start, because links do help. But, back in the old days, here's the other thing too. If an SEO company is saying that they can just blow your page up and they're not willing to tell you how they're going to do it, it's likely it's going to be black hat. And the problem with black hat marketing is so if you don't know what black hat is, so you have white hat and you have black hat and you got gray hat. And so black hat is doing stuff to try to outsmart the algorithm. And I'll give you some instances. So back in the day, and before one of the penguins or one of those panda bears came out that Google sent out, you could put the keyword 100,000 times on the website, and then you would show up and you would be you was the top ranked dude. Well, Google cut that out. So then what they did is they would do them all in white, and then that had a white background. And so that's another way they did it. Another way is you go buy links, and you could buy thousands of links, and whoever had the most links ranked the highest. Well, Google's like, nope, no one on that either. And so we can get good quality links from like our I can't think of what it's called now. Chamber of Commerce, right? We can get a backlinks from that. We can join those, and those are links to our website. And there's places that we can get good links to our website that will also help us and keep us growing into getting us where we need to be at. So with that, these are some things that you need to do to be able to keep you up, trying to get our business, to try to get our Google local. One is if you're in a big area in a big city, don't think that your Google My Business outside of the city, you're going to rank in that big city. You're probably not, because you're too far out. So the number one thing that Google ranks is proximity. Proximity is huge for Google. The closer you are to that Google My Business, the more likely you're to show up. So if you're like, for me, Cincinnati, I'm not going to show up on the north side of Cincinnati when the maps pack. Now, I could if I go up there and rent a shop, but I will not rank down here. So proximity has a huge thing. Getting our 5-star reviews, right? The more 5-star reviews we can get in, the better off we are. The more 5-star reviews that they say how good we are and where we're at and where they're located and what services, the better off we can start ranking. The 5-star reviews, the next is putting our photos in there. Getting our citations. Our citations is another way that we can grow and get to where we need to be at. But again, you got to remember that this is only one form of marketing to get business. A lot of people think that if I pay all this money in SEO and all of this, the phone is just going to blow up. And the phone will not blow up just by doing that. I promise you, your phone will not blow up by doing this one thing. Now, I am going to give you a little look behind Monday Night Marketing. If you haven't joined kingofpressurewash.com, this is some information that comes out on our Monday Night Marketing. And then the other thing is when we do our training, this is where Chris will be talking about this in our training too. And so I hope you all can hear this. I'm going to try to share my screen and stuff, but you will see what this is of another way to get. He didn't have a very good website, and so this is what you can do. Oh, that ain't what I wanted. Cancel. Is that not going to work for me? Let's see if that's going to work for me. Scene. All right, here we go. No, cancel. Let's see if this is going to work.
Chris. How many signs I need to put out? I got my schedule filled up for the week.
As many as you did last week.
All right. Put out 6.
Trust me. So if Jason will give me 2 seconds, I'll show you why.
I'll give you all the time you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, you got to give me the ability to share my screen.
All right, hold on here. Share your screen. There you go.
All right, so I'm going to show you why you want to continue putting your yard signs out in your marketing. And this is why. Can you see this screen?
Yeah.
So you see where we come out the gate last year with the green, the neon green?
Mm-hmm.
There's yard sign, yard sign, yard sign, yard sign, yard sign. And then from here, we've done yard sign, yard sign, yard sign, all the way up to this pinnacle. And then I'm so busy right here, I'm quoting 7 to 8 jobs a day, and my guys are doing 2 to 3 jobs a day. Literally, the truck at this point here is maxed out. So I quit. And watch what happened in July. Boom, a crash, hard crash. I get nervous here. I start putting them back out because I see it sliding down, man. I see it stopping. And we go back up in August, and I'm like, okay, we're good. And I stop again, and it crashed all the way to October. And then this is Christmas lights that done this.
Yeah.
So this is why, even when you're busy, continue, and keep it filled up, man. And if you get to where you're 3 to 4 weeks out.
So that is a little bit about Monday Night Marketing. And if you want to learn more too about when Chris, we will be doing our in-person training at his place, well, at down there in Myrtle Beach, and it's the 3rd and 4th, March 3rd and 4th. You can go to kpwtrain.com and check it out, or you can go to kingofpressure.wash.com/in-person training. But this is something that is in Monday Night Marketing that we talk about in Monday Night Marketing, right? Tristan usually always asks a question of how many signs he's supposed to put out, and he usually, I think, they always get told, 50, 75, whatever. And so this is something that we do on Monday Night Marketing and growing our businesses together. So with that, what questions do we have? That's about all I have for that. But I wanted to hit on this because I see a lot of times, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up one more thing here because I don't have it all the way done. I will probably put this on this video, wherever this video goes. I always put these videos on my website, and I will be putting this on there too. So if you want the checklist, so I've got 5 questions to ask. 5 questions to ask of this checklist. I don't have it all the way what I want it done, but I'm gonna show it to you so you can see. So I have 5 questions that you should ask when you're getting your 5 questions to ask when you're trying to buy someone to pay SEO, search engine optimization, all of that good stuff. So I put these 5 questions here just so that way you can see what you might need to do. Yard signs equals business. Cards, doors, hangers equals Facebook, free market, word of mouth, Facebook, Google, yeah. And so these are some 5 questions that I would recommend you ask when you are trying to get someone to do your or your Google My Business stuff or your SEO stuff, whatever that you're trying to get done. Are you familiar with optimizing local service listings for my area? And the reason why I left that in there for my area, because you might live in a little town in the middle of nowhere. You might live outside of a big town you might live outside of a big town in a little town, and you're trying to get ranked in the big town. And so if they don't know what they're doing there, that's an issue and that's a problem. Number 2 is how do you measure progress towards potential goals? A lot of SEO people will tell you, man, it's going to take you 6 to 9 months to get ranking. Well, why you're paying me 6 to 9 months, and there's no guarantee, and blah, 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 blah. And some of them will say, well, we'll get you ranked real fast, but they don't tell you what they're ranking you for. And so sometimes it is ranking for, Billy Bob's pressure washing in Florence, Kentucky 41005. Yep, I got you number 1 there. Well, yeah, because you're the only person there, right? And so that's some things that you have to look at of what they're doing. Another trick they like to do is the thing with the map, right? You got the map and you got all the green dots, but they won't tell you what they're actually searching for up top. And so that's a problem, right? These are problems that we have to look at and knowing how do we do that. What's the process to rank my site in local listing? What are you going to do? Do you just have magic fairy dust that you're just going to throw up in the air and my site's just going to rank? Well, that's a bunch of crap. So don't fall for that one for sure. How can social media marketing help me maximize my reach with my local area, right? These are questions we want to ask. Now, obviously this don't have nothing to do with marketing, but if they're not doing your Google My Business posting, they're not doing that stuff, and then it does. And then this does have effect on your website because now we can put links on there, and this is what we can do for that. What strategies do you recommend for building consistent citations across listings? So this is a great question that Michael asked here. What is citations? So citations are everything on the internet that has your name, address, phone number, and website. And it all has to be the exact same everywhere that you look at. If you spell it different here, or you put RD for road here and you spell out road there, Google don't like that stuff. It's got to be the exact same thing all the way across the board. And so these are things that we have to do to be able to know that, hey, Google, we got everything out there, right? Because what happens is some people might type it in this way and some people type it in that way, and one day you type it in this way and the next day you forgot how you typed it in that day and you type it in a different way. So these are ways that we make sure that we get that. Thoughts on backlinks, Jason? Yes, backlinks are good, but we need to get them organically. We don't want to be paying for backlinks because that can be bad unless they're, when I say don't pay for backlinks, this is what I don't mean. You go and you pay for the Chamber of Commerce, backlink. You go and you give your kids the baseball team, and I only say baseball because Tristan's a big baseball player. You go and you give the baseball team a $50, and they'll give you a link to your website, right? They're local sites that might have good domain authority that are pointing them to your website. So these are some things to think about when we're doing this stuff of how to start pointing this stuff to our website. So what you need to do to get that. But I love these questions. I got my website and GMB the exact same name this week. Awesome. My guy said he has to start in my area before he expands out to other areas. So have you had experience with that? Yeah, I'm going to hit on this too. If you're trying to reach a big area and you have a lot of competition, your Google local may only get 2, 3, 5 miles from you. It might not get very far from you. And so these are things that we have to think about and look at to make sure that when we do this, that, if you're trying to get 20 miles away from us in towns across, you may not be able to rank. You got to rank really good in this area, and then we're going to start trying to get further and further out. But in the beginning, we have to rank really good in our own area before we can start getting out to other people. I keep getting emails that say something about Google, my website page indexing issues. Could you tell me what that means? So that means that Google may or may not, well, it depends. Sometimes it's people trying to spam you, and so you got to make sure that it might not be indexed. And the way that you can see if it's indexed or doing it, shoot, I just had a brain fart. I can't think what it's called now. Well, I'll come back to that question because I just had a brain fart. Search Console, CONSOLE. Make sure that you fill that out, and then that way Google Search Console, and then there you can index your site and do all that through there. On the website you are going to offer, does it cover all this stuff you just talked about? A lot of it is going to cover it. Now, my template website doesn't cover a lot of this stuff. My paid website will offer it. There will be a package that will offer more of it. So one package, there'll be probably 2 packages. One will offer a lot more than the other one. For the longest time, GMB wouldn't let me fix my name. Yeah, that's stupid. What amount of percentage of dollar range per month do you recommend if you're looking to do gross 250 in that time frame? So, I mean, you're looking at $25,000 to $30,000 divided by 8 is where I would probably be at to get there, whatever that is. If you say 30,000, you're 10,000, you're about 12 grand a month is where you're going to be at to get there. Now, there's other things that we can do to help that, right? We can do data reactivation, all that kind of stuff. And all of this stuff will be coming out. My pricing list, my goal tomorrow is have my pricing list done tomorrow. I meant to get it done today, but I worked on about 5 or 6 AdWords account. And one of the AdWords account is from Canada. And I didn't know, or actually it's from Newfoundland. And I didn't know that was part of Canada. I know I'm stupid, but I don't care about geography much. But I had to put it took me a while to figure out the zip code and the codage and everything, but we got it done. I got it done. I figured it out. You can do anything. You just put your mind to it. You can do anything. You can do anything. I promise you. Let's see. Do you have a website to run Google Ads? I'm thinking about it. I haven't put it up yet. I do have the Google Ads where I will set up the Google Ads, and that's all I do. I don't run them. I set them up. I teach you how to do it. And I don't know if this is the right email or not. Well, that didn't do what I wanted to do, did it? So I don't know. It's I think it's pressurewashhelp.com/Google Ads is what it is. Or if you go to my Pressure Wash Help site and go scroll down, it'll say Google Ads, and that's where you can do it at. Bright Local will get you some good reports and point them in the right directions to fix things. And Bright Local is actually a pretty good place that you can buy citations also. Yeah, will you redo my Google Ads? Yeah, for a price. It depends on if you pay me in the beginning. If you pay me in the beginning and your ads are messed up, which I got to, you know what? I forgot, just thinking about that. I got to do Clay's ads. He asked me to look at his ads that I did last year, that he screwed them up, and I'm going to fix them for him. But these are some things that we have to think about doing for marketing. You know, a lot of times I see people and they struggle and they don't they don't worry about marketing, man. Marketing is where it's at. Marketing is the most important thing we can do. If we don't do marketing, man, I see so many people buying rigs and doing this stuff, and they don't want to spend no money on marketing. Marketing is where we grow our business. Marketing is what you got to do. And so, you know, this is something that I see so many people struggle with, right? You know, I was thinking about it the other day, and I talked to Jason Hefner, quite a bit. And so I was looking, so I had my VA do some shorts that will be coming out here. And one of the questions I asked Jason is, how did you get to $10,000 a month? And I remember those first three, I think he said it took him 4 or 5 months to get to $10,000 months. And I remember that. He started paying me right out of the get-go to help him get going. And I had to work on him so hard to raise his prices, right? First off, we got to raise our prices. If you're afraid to raise your prices, that's your first mistake. That's your biggest mistake. And so these are some things that is all up here. It's all mindset, right? And then the other thing I taught him is how to do marketing. And he still does marketing. I'm showing you Chris Johnson that did almost $550,000, $600,000, and he's putting out yard signs, right? Because his website sucks. He hasn't spent $1 hardly on website. He hasn't done any of that kind of stuff, but he's still doing yard signs and clip flyers and that kind of thing. Because why? It works. You know, this is something that I've been doing here lately. So the last 6 weeks, I got to a point that I almost hit a number. And it's a weight number. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that number. I do not want to be that number. I do not want to hit that number. If I hit that number, I don't want to. And that's my weight. And I was at 319 pounds. And I did not want to hit that 320. I know that I just didn't want to hit that 320. So I did something. I changed my lifestyle. And you got to do the same thing. If you want your pressure washing business to start and take off, you got to start and take off. You got to change what you're doing. If you've been doing something for months and it's not doing anything, and you've been doing it for years and it's not doing anything, you got to change something, because you just have to change it. So this was 5-6 weeks ago that I started doing this. And so what I did is I went straight meat. All I eat is meat. The carnivore diet. That's all I do. Eat meat. And so as of Monday, I weigh myself every Monday. I was down 29 pounds. But it's consistency. If I quit and go right back to what was doing before, what's going to happen to me? I'm going to go right back up to where I was at, right? And so with business is the same thing. It's all about being consistent. Consistency is key. No matter what we do, consistency is key. And when we are consistent, we will grow. I promise you, you will grow when you are consistent. So he eats short people. And so being consistent is key to whatever we do, whether it's your diet, whether it is your goals, right? You have to be consistent. Where I have gotten myself into this business is consistency. Now, I get sometimes that we do something consistent and it's not doing anything. And there is times that we have to change. But I also know people that are consistent at throwing mud at the wall. And then when something does work, they keep throwing more mud at different walls to see what works. And they quit doing over here what works. Yard sign works, I promise you. You know how many people I see that start doing something and then they quit doing yard signs? You know, I did yard signs all the way to the end. To get to 1 million, I was still putting out yard signs. Why do you think I was putting out yard signs? Because they work. You know, people want to sit here and be like, I just want to put, you know, I always say there's 2 ways to get business, right? You either have the time or you have the money. There's 2 ways. That's the only way you're going to get. You either spend a whole lot of money or you spend a whole lot of time. You know, yard signs is a little bit of both, but it works. And there's a reason why it works, because it just works. And so reason why I'm hitting on this so hard is because it is something that is important, and you will be surprised how many people don't do it. Paul Gardner right here, this guy right here, he's poor. He's real poor. I'm just joking. He actually owns like a 10, 11, $100 million yard sign company. No, big signs, right? Big signs. And guess what? Invest in signs. And he's probably on my Christmas light channel, because I did play this to the Christmas light channel too. And guess what? He has a beautiful wrapped trailer that looks amazing, right? Because it works. Signs work. People see them. They work. And so it's not something that, you know, website stuff works too, but there's other things out there other than just a website, right? Everybody thinks when they get into business, they need a website. You know, that's one reason why my membership marketing, you get a free website if you're a member. So that way you can, I'm trying to make it easier for you, so that way you quit worrying about a stupid website. Right? So that way you can start focusing on more stuff, because so many people get caught up on a logo. You know how many people I've seen that they'll be like, man, I'm working on my logo. And 3 months later, I'm like, what are you working on now? I'm working on my logo. Pick one. Who cares? You will probably change it eventually anyway from when you first start. You know, I love the little business cards. It's got the little pressure washing wand that's red and like yellow. That was one of my first business cards, right? It's just something. Pick it, move on. Don't sit there. It ain't got to be perfect. If it's got to be perfect, you will never move on, and you will struggle, and you will sit there and talk yourself out of it, right? Act fast. Figure out what works and change it. What don't work, right? If it doesn't work, change it. And so, see, look, Big Rob, that was me. Actually, absolutely. Fail forward. The faster you fail, the faster you move forward. Because now we know what don't work. A lot of times we don't know what works. You know, this guy here put a lot of these signs. I've seen these signs all over, and they don't work. They might have worked a little bit, but I bet if he had a sign like this, I bet it made his phone ring a whole lot more, right? Because you don't know until you start doing it. And so these are things that you have to do so you can keep moving forward, right? Failing forward. I love that. The faster you fail, the faster you move forward. Persistent, 100%. Massive imperfect action moves the needle faster than anything else. Yep, logo makes you more money than anything. I paid $250 for a logo, so I didn't deal with the headaches. My first logo came from a cheap business card template online, right? You just do something. Do something. Move it forward. That's all I'm asking for you to do, is move it forward. Don't sit there and keep thinking about, well, I don't know what to do, Jason. Just do it. And this is the thing. What I'm talking about right now, like I said, I know some people are watching me on my Christmas light channel. It doesn't matter if we're talking about it on Christmas lights or pressure washing or any service business, right? I was just telling you about Paul Gardner, right? He's a good friend of mine that does all well for himself. He's figured it out. And he helps sign companies all over the country dealing with the same problem that you all are dealing with, right? That you think that we got to do everything. We don't have to do everything. We do need to do a lot of little things, and another thing is you can always think about hiring people, right? That's the next thing. What do we got to do to get that out? Well, Jason, nobody can do it as good as I can. That is crazy. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Take action, figure out the rest of it. And I know that Nathan's a big Uncle G fan, right? My brain is not here tonight. Uncle G fan, right? Grant Cardone. You know what he always says? Just say yes. Just say yes. And even other leaders say, just say yes and figure it out later, right? I see this so many times. People are like, well, I don't know. Just say yes and figure it out. That's bigger than I think. Just say yes. You'll figure it out. And you'll learn a whole lot figuring it out. I promise you. You'll learn things that you never knew you learned about. My mowing service is called Gump Lawn Care, as in Forrest Gump, my favorite movie. Simple, easy to remember. Made me some flyers on Vistaprint. Looks good. Wish me luck. Good luck, man. I paid $30 for my logo. My business cards are simple. And that's another thing. Keep it simple. Don't be putting all this crap on it. Just keep it simple. That's all you got to do. Heard a quote today from Kansas City Chief. Success is 5% skill, or 5% skill, 95% consistency. It is 100% true. If you find something that works, keep hammering the nail. Hammer that nail till you can't hammer it no more. And that will get you to move forward. That's what we want to do. I want you to move forward. I want you to move forward. There's nothing special about anybody that I've had on here that is moving the needle forward. Not one thing is special. I promise you. Nobody is special. Most people are, I can show you drug addicts that in the past, they never went to college. A bunch of guys never finished high school. I haven't brought on people that are like these almighty smart mofos that know everything. They're just like you, but they've had consistency and they've kept doing the thing that works, right? Hammering the nail over and over and over again. Find out what works and keep doing it. And write down what works for you then. Here's I'm going to take you another step. Write it down so you quit not doing it. Because I showed you the video of Chris talking about he did it and then he stopped. And then he did it and he stopped. And he did it, right? Keep it going. But Jason, I'm so busy, I don't know. Raise your prices. Raise them some more. I see so many people right now that are starting out and they want to start at these low prices. Get out of the me mindset. Get out of I'm the one buying. You're not the one buying. Raise your prices. What keep people in business is raising their prices. If you do a $200 house wash, you got $20 to get another house wash. If you do that same house wash for $600, now you got $60 to go find you a new customer. And I promise you, you'll find a way better customer for $60 than you will for $20. I promise you that you will do it. Now, are you going to close everybody? No, you're not going to close everybody. I promise you're not going to close it. If you're at an 80% close rate, raise your prices. Raise them. You should be 50 to 60%. Raise your prices. I'm talking to you all. Raise them. I'm going to help you out. Raise your prices. Jason Hefner, he did $250,000 buying himself, him and his wife. And they did it on a 32% close rate, 32%. So every 7 customers told him to go pound salt, and 3 customers said, yes, I'll pay your $800-900 average ticket. Why? Because that's what you do, and that's how you make your money. You don't make money by being $300, $200. I'm afraid to ask. You got to raise your prices. You got to do 2 things: raise your prices, and 2, you got to add packages, right? We're not going to just give them a $400 house wash or a $300 house wash. We want to give them a $1,500 we come and make you look special and make you feel special package, right? We're going to clean everything for you. There won't be a dirty spot on you, the kid, the dog, whatever. We're going to do everything we can to make that package get that higher package. And what happens is you get in this mindset of, oh, Jason, you just don't understand my area. That's the biggest full of crap that I ever hear. I hate that. When I hear that, I'm ready to come over the table and say, shut the hell up. Because you're speaking it into existence. Guess what? Well, you can't get that here in my area. That's because you're an idiot because you're not asking for it. And I'm sorry if I called you an idiot because you're not asking for it, but raise your prices and ask for it. Don't be afraid to hear the words no. And I get it when you're starting out, you're afraid to hear because you're just trying to get any work you can, and that's fine, but don't be afraid to raise your prices. It's okay to hear no. And I get it. No is a hard thing to hear, especially when you're starting out and you don't know how to do sales and you don't know what to do, right? I hear this is the other thing. If I had all these leads, I'd be there too. No, you wouldn't. I promise you wouldn't. I promise you if I gave you enough leads to do $1 million, you wouldn't know what to do with it. Most 90% of the here wouldn't know what to do with it. I promise you they wouldn't know what to do with it. They wouldn't know how to close. They wouldn't know how to get to the work. They wouldn't be able to answer their phone. They wouldn't be able to get the work done because you're not at that point. Now, if you're at that point, that's a different story. If you're at 750,000 and I give you enough to get to $1 million, you'll figure it out pretty quickly because you already got systems in place and you already got different things in place. But when we're under 100,000, I give you $1 million worth of business, you're going to be like, just shoot me because everything's going to fall off. The wheels will literally fall off the bus for you. And so this is things that you have to think about when we're dealing with this stuff. Didn't charge it until I upgraded to the new pickup and was ready to wrap it. Then I added the logo and got started. You all got me going tonight. Where do I find the link to you fix my Google ads? Thanks. PressureWashHelp.com/Google ads, I believe it is. Elon Musk says that 100-hour work week and you won't fail. If you don't quit, you can't fail. It's true. I have 4 degrees that don't mean crap. Got me $60,000 job somewhere. Wish I heard Jason's message before I was a teenager. This is a good point. Me and my wife was talking about this, right? We were told in our mind that go to college and you'll get a good job. And a good job is 60 grand, right? 60 grand. What if you would have put that money? I know people that spend $200,000 on college. And don't get me wrong, college has its place. But I know people spend $100,000 to $200,000 on college. And guess what they have at the end of it? A $60,000 job, an $80,000 job. Some of them start at $20,000 or $40,000, $50,000 right out of the get-go, right? Because it's underwater basket weaving that nobody ever uses. But someone told them that's a good job. And they's like, man, that sounds like a good job. I want to do me some underwater basket weaving. And so it is true, right? And so the thing of it is you can change your lifestyle by doing pressure washing. Yeah, just a regular old pressure washer. You all got me excited tonight, but at the end, you all are just pressure washing. And that's a load of crap. You all are a business owner. Think about that. You're a business owner. You got to figure out how to do AR. You got to figure out how to do marketing. You got to figure out how to do customer service. You got to figure out how to hire employees. You got to figure out all that stuff. And guess what I didn't say? You got to figure out how to run a rig. I didn't say that because I can pay any 18-year-old to do that, right? You got to figure out how to do all this other stuff so that way you can keep it going. This network group I'm in is going to be killer for me. I'm already getting referrals. Nice. I didn't know what to do with the amount of Christmas light leads, but I'm ready now, right? This isn't right. This is exactly. Nathan got so many Christmas light leads, he didn't know what to do with them. He was like, Jason, should I take off Thursday and Friday or Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving? I was like, heck no, you shouldn't take off. That's the busy part of the week. That's when we got to get this stuff done. My head would explode. Just started pressure washing my very first job. I landed a full package cleaning and roof, house, porch, and driveway sidewalk for $1,800 in 6 hours. That's what I'm talking about. If you ask for it, you'll get it. You don't have to be somebody special. There's nobody you got to be special to get $1,800, $2,000 jobs. You just got to ask. You have not because you ask not. You got to ask. Did you say that offer free website? Yes. If you go to kingofpressurewash.com, join. You got to be a member of the membership, or you don't get it, or I shut it off. I got planes on building 50,000. People set the wrong goals when it comes to the income. They don't do the math on what life actually costs. House payment, eating healthy, food, having the money to vacation. $60,000 a year won't get you there. That's why both people work and they never see each other. Can you find the free template website in the membership? If so, where is it located at? Go under marketing and it's at the bottom of it, I believe it is. If you're in the membership, you can just go to kingofmarketing.io, and then once you sign up, I know it says it's $147. It won't charge you $147 as of right now. I'm gonna put a coupon code in there eventually, so I don't have to go in there and forget to change it. But right now, you can just do that, and you'll get it. But again, if you want to go and check out when we do our training, I'm pretty sure this website works, kpwtrain.com. It's a lot easier. This is where Chris and I will be down in Myrtle Beach. It will be limited class. I think we're about 4 people away from being filled up, maybe 4 or 5. So go check that out if you want to get in that training. People ask me what's different between my training and other people's. Well, we're actually doing a whole lot of stuff in this training. So obviously the first day is all about pressure washing. It's about 4 or 5 hours in classroom. It's about 4 hours. Then we eat lunch. It's in classroom talking about the safety and how to do it and all the chemicals. And then the second half is we go out and we'll actually wash something. I'm hoping we might find a house. I don't know. Sometimes we just wash a building, but we'll wash a house. And then day 2 will be really good. So my marketing stuff takes about 4 to 5 hours. And then Chris is going to speak about 3 or 4 hours on just sales, how to do sales, how to do in-person sales. We're going to talk about all different kinds of things. We're going to talk about love languages. We're going to talk about DISC, and we're actually going to talk quite a bit about both of those. And you might say, why do I need to know about love languages? Isn't that something for your wife? It makes a big difference. So the love language stuff and the DISC is, how do you sell to people? How do you sell to different types of people? Well, if you don't know what types of people that you are or what your customer is, how can we sell to that person? You know, if you don't know that you go to your customer's house and he has the love language of affirmation and he's got the biggest, baddest truck and all this stuff, and he wants to hear how awesome he is, and you don't tell him how awesome he is, then he's not going to buy any of your stuff because you didn't know his love language, right? Or you see that someone's all touchy-feely and you're like, don't touch me. Well, guess what? You just offended their love language, because they probably like touch and they like to be touched. And, you know, these are some things that you got to know and be able to see. And this is why it's important. And so we're going to dig in both of those. On the sales side, this is something new, and I haven't done this before, but I want to do it because this will make you better salesmen. And if you're a better salesman, you'll get better sales, you'll get higher ticket, you'll get better packages, you'll get everything. So that's why I'm doing it for, because this is what it's about, how to sell. If we don't know how to sell and we don't know how to do marketing, don't buy a rig. Don't buy a rig if you don't know how to do marketing and sales. Really don't buy a rig if you don't know how to do marketing. Because if you don't know how to market, a pressure washing rig isn't going to bring all this business in that these other YouTubers are going to promise you. I promise you that it will not bring you in it. I guarantee you it will not bring you in money. If you don't believe me, go check on Facebook Marketplace and see all the used rigs out there right now, because they bought rigs and they didn't know how to do marketing. And they're going to say, we changed our lifestyle or we did something. It means they suck at marketing and they don't know how to do marketing, and they bought an investment that they lost their butt on. And that's what happens to it. So that's why it does. But you can still put out yard signs. That is easy. 100%. You know what I love about this, dude? I love the people. This is what I love about people right here. The people that are scared to death about putting out yard signs. What if the city calls me? Well, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for asking for it, right? For permission. So go do it. If you find out you can't do it, then find out where you can do it. Go put them out there. These are things that you can do to do it. Preach it, brother. What does this 2-day training cost? It costs $1,000. $1,000. I bet you a 10x your money right away. I guarantee it. If you do what we do and tell you to put in action, you'll 10x it by easy. So the marketing day alone is probably worth 10 times that much. It's about a $30,000 to $40,000 investment in me that I'm giving you. What's your thoughts on an employee handbook? It's good to have if you have employees. Only thing more important than marketing is education. Educational buy your equipment last. I didn't say it. Jeremy said it, right? You invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. And I'm not even just saying that. I literally just came from Dallas that I spent almost $5,000 to give me to better invest in myself, right? Sean Taper flew all the way from the Newfoundland to Arizona to go to Responsicon to do, and it cost him $5,000. So I know it's a lot of money, but I guarantee you he learned all kinds of stuff that he wouldn't have been able to do without it. So it's important that we invest in ourselves. You know, I'll tell you another one. This guy here, he invests all the time in himself. And he's doing millions, and he's still investing in himself. You know what else you find out when you go invest in yourself? You get to network. And you know what? The classes that I took last week wasn't near as valuable as the network of people that I was around. There was a chick that was sitting there talking to me. Actually, she wasn't talking to me. There was a table. I was there with Ashley Bissing, and there was a couple females and one other dude, Jeremy. And this chick walks up, and they're talking, and she's like, yeah, my goal this year is to do $256,000 a month. Huh? And she's like, yeah, we're at $185,000 a month right now. And then so they were chit-chatting back around, and I asked the question, so what's 3 things that was pivotal for you to get there? The number one thing was pivotal is doing masterminds and education. That was one of the things that got her to where she is now, right? And so this is, now she'd been with Russell Brunson. She was in a mastermind with Billie Jean. She'd been in all kind of masterminds. But she's at her goal is $250,000 a month. Think about that. $250,000 a month. And it's a business that don't have a lot of expense. So that's the thing about that. So it is awesome to be able to see people do that. I like signs. 100X. How many put out? 100X. Actually, hey, Paul, we got a guy that's planning on putting out over 6,000 this year. Look at what the benefits of those people telling you to do those things like buy the rig, and look at the benefit Jason has for telling you the opposite. Here's the thing. Nathan has bought 2 of my classes. He's invested in the pressure washing and a Christmas light one. And he did over $100,000 last year. I got an electric bike. I go mailbox to mailbox. Too cheap. Upsold a $600 to $1,100 job. And here's the thing. I want to talk about this. So, because I'll be done after this. I got to meet Tristan last week, right before I was in Dallas. And so I actually flew into Fort Worth. I could have flew into the other one, but I flew into Fort Worth, and I got to talk to Tristan, and we had dinner. We went out to dinner, and his average ticket was not very high. Like, his average ticket was pretty low. And I've been preaching this, and he's been listening, but he don't listen 100%, I guess. He's young and hasn't figured out to listen to old Jason here. Jason does know what he talks about. And so I told him, you got to raise your prices. I said, you got to raise your prices. Look, upsold a $600 to $1,100 job. You got to ask for it. If you don't ask for it, you won't get it. And this is something that's not hard. It's scary. But there's more chance of you asking for it is a better chance that you will get it. Awesome. I'll be checking out the website. I'm guessing you give tips in marketing as well. So Monday Night Marketing, if you're into pressure washing membership, I give Monday Night Marketing is 15, 20 minutes, and then it's about 20 minutes it's about an hour of just coaching and getting people where they need to go. Do you use customer contact? And if so, where can I get one? What do you mean by customer contact? I have spent $500,000 in investing in myself. It's important. And he's not kidding. He spent $500,000, but he's doing 10, 15 million a year. How do you get there? You don't get there by wishing and hoping and dreaming. You know, as Maxwell said, hope don't get you anywhere. You might as well take the E off and you'll hop there at least. You can hope all you want. Hope doesn't get you there. Taking action and making it happen. And, you know, and he's come to our class 2 or 3 times. He only paid once and I gave him a hard, but he brought another guy the other 1 or 2 times. And I gave him a hard time, but he's still investing in himself, in the networking. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Amen. You meet high-level thinkers, makes you better, 100%. You know, and that goes back to you're like the 5 people you're around. If you're at the top of the 5 people you're around, you need to get 5 new friends and put you at the bottom, because then the only way you got to go is up. Where's she operate out of? She operates out of her house, and she helps chiropractors get business is what she does. Why figure things out yourself when others have already done it? Pay and get it fast and shortcut. Yep. I was saying you would 100x your business by taking your training. I would agree with that, 100%. All right. So go check out KPW Train. That's where that is. Also, King of Pressure Wash. That's where you can get that. And then one last thing is if you want to sign up for knowing when I go live every Wednesday and Sunday. I actually hadn't been live the last 2 weeks on the weekday, but I'm going to start back, and I'm going to talk about marketing, because marketing is where it's all at. And we're going to talk all kinds of different marketing stuff. It ain't just going to be one thing or the other, but marketing is where it is at. And so these are things that you have to do. And so if you want to know when I go live, you can text King to 859-696-1101. You do not have to put the quotations around the King, otherwise it does not work. But you will see how some of my automation stuff is working. And if you want some of this automation stuff, stay tuned, because it will be out hopefully next week of where I'm doing it. I'm already doing it, some testing, and so it is working. And so it is, it'll be smart form, and it will also be, if you miss a phone call, it'll set down a series of texts and stuff. How many people in here miss phone calls and don't lie? And then the other thing is as soon as you, the smart form, as soon as you get the form, it's going to start texting you and calling you and doing all kinds of cool stuff, so you don't lose those leads. So many people lose leads because they don't follow up and get back to them right away. So hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you.